And moving on, President William Ruto has cracked the whip on a scandal-plagued Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, Kemsa, with Public Health Principal Secretary Josephine Mburu sent packing. The head of state also sacked the entire board of the state agency and suspended its chief executive officer, Ms. Terry Ramadhani. The sweeping changes come in the wake of 3.7 billion shillings bought tender for the supply of treated mosquito nets to prevent malaria among millions of low-income households. William Juma brings us that story.
I don't want to speak about it now.
You will see results then?
Yes, you will see results.
Mr. President,
I want to give you my commitment. I will clean up Kemsa. Whatever it takes,
Mr. President,
whatever it costs, I will clean it up.
President William Ruto has fired Public Health PS Dr. Josephine Mburu, suspended Kenya Medical Supplies Authority Kemsa CEO Terry Ramadhani, and kicked out the agency's entire board over 4 billion shilling mosquito net supply scandal.
In terms of loss of funds, not as yet. Except, of course, the cost of advertising for a tender, the cost of staff having to sit and do an evaluation, just the administrative cost. But in terms of actual value of money lost, not yet, because the tender was now going to be awarded. So maybe at the point of award is when we can speak about loss of funds. However, it taints and portrays weaknesses in our systems.
He has also appointed former Housing Principal Secretary and Farmers Leader Party Leader Irungu Nyakera as Kemsa Board Chair. The move comes after a Nation Africa expose detailing how Kemsa bungled a 3.7 billion tender for the supply of treated mosquito nets.
I wouldn't tell whether she was involved or not, but as principal secretaries, they are the accounting officers of the ministry. So it is expected that, of course, in their day-to-day, then they are expected to interact with institutions when it comes to such matters.
It has also revealed the possible embezzlement of at least $1.353 million by rogue ministry officials from a donor-funded campaign that has left the government staring at refunds and potential sanctions from the Geneva-based global funds.
Ministry of Health is going to acquire the equipment at nominal value, and then we shall advertise an open tender to get people to service and maintain the equipment. That is way forward. But most important to Kenyans is that we have agreed that between now and when we do the new agreement, there is not going to be a lapse in service.
The sweep at Kemsa and the Ministry of Health comes after it emerged that Kemsa bungled the billion shilling tender for the supply of treated nets intended to help millions of low-income households prevent malaria, in a move that has also cost the state corporation at least 370 million shilling in revenue.
They say a new broom sweeps clean, and I really hope that as a new broom I should be able to sweep clean this ministry. I have been involved in the decisions that have been made today. I have advised the president to the best of my knowledge as his principal advisor in this ministry. I've given my advice. And my role here is really to sweep and ensure that Kenyans get value for money.
The tender financed by a global fund was to see the winning bidder supply 10.2 million treated mosquito net. But blunders by Kemsa have now seen the Geneva-based organization demand action against officials who bungled its implementation. In the document seen by Maisha TV indicate that the global fund has now cancelled Kemsa's procurement process, which seemed flawed in favor of a bidder who did not meet mandatory requirements at the expense of an actual mosquito net manufacturer. Because of the scandal, Kenya now risks being blacklisted by the global fund, with the donor already threatening to cut its funding for the malaria program in 2023-2024 period. In April, the organization gave the Ministry of Health 60 days to give evidence explanation on how a flagged 72.8 million shilling portion of the donor funds was spent or refund the amount. The global fund is investigating a further 75.8 million shillings spent, which says involves prohibited practices. No details have been given on what the practices entailed. An unspecified amount of the money was paid out through M-Pesa and described as salaries in a bid to cover up the embezzlement, the Global Fund's review shows. Communication between the Global Fund and two principal secretaries, Dr. Josephine Mburu and Engineer Peter Tum, indicate that the incident is not the Ministry of Health first tangle with misappropriation of the donors' money, as some of the officials previously implicated in embezzlement and other funds misappropriation incidents are senior managers. For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, my name is William Juma.